Welcome again to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host, Rick Head, and forgive me, I am coming off of a cold, so I'm going to be coughing a little bit here and there, but I don't think you guys are going to catch it. But of course, I'm joined by the hardcore crew. First, from the Skeleton Realms, he's the Lord Skeleton himself, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
I'm doing real good, and I hope we in the studio don't get the cold, but I don't have no problem sharing something. I'll give it to my wife, and maybe that'll work.
Well,
Lance, let's just pass this shit right now, because every time I do a stream, Terry also blasts it. So please go ahead.
It's Joe at SkeletonsRealm.com.
Thank you.
And that Southern Redneck is the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV. Lance, what's going on?
Not much, boss. We got you covered because I got the Lysol.
Good enough. Good enough. All right, we got a long fucking show. Terry 3G just popped in. Evening, Terry. So let's. We were talking off the show before we got on the air about Jade Cargill, and now that she's officially signed with the WWE, it's what's gonna, how is this all gonna work out for her? She would not indulge whether she wanted to go to NXT or the main roster. She kept that quiet. But Joe, again, we're talking about Jade, who obviously, yes, she has a great character, but for 3 years she's only done like 52 matches.
As far as Jade is concerned, she is a very good athlete, and she's gonna. And as a character, I think she's stunning. I think one of the major factors, and I just thought of this while we were getting ready, could be another main factor, Rick, that besides her coming in through WWE, not only is it a great career boost for her, but it also an acting boost for her. And we've seen her, come out with coming out, you could say cosplaying as Chitara from the Thundercats.
Absolutely.
Or Storm. So that could be another reason she wants to get closer to WWE and be in WWE. So because not only is she getting that elitist thing that she could say, hey, I'm in WWE now. When I'm done here, you guys gotta have to pay me more to see me. But also with the other thing of being in the movies, because John Cena, The Rock, a host of others have gone through from WWF/WWE into movies. So my question is she going to be the new Sasha Banks of the company? Now we know she's allowed to keep her
name,
Jade Cargill name. So gentlemen, is she going to be like the, she comes out sparkly with the glasses like Sasha did? Could she be the new Sasha Banks?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily a new Sasha Banks, but you even said before how she came out in a lot of the cosplay. She definitely comes out with the sparkly stuff. So you know what? I would not be shocked if she did, continue to have that kind of, persona. We talked about her, cut the shit and I'm the baddest bitch. And Lance, I don't think WWE's gonna allow her to say that.
Yeah, because as much as we hate it, WWE's still PG.
Exactly. And during an interview, Jade made it very clear she kept her mouth shut about whether she's going to go to NXT, SmackDown, or Raw, but she also, let on a little bit of information as to why she signed with WWE. She's saying that one of the three big reasons that she went was because Cody Rhodes pretty much pulled her over. And she didn't say really too much what the other two are, but I guess every wrestler wants to be in the WWE. Every wrestler wants to be, hit WrestleMania. And of course, the money. the money's always a major factor, Joe, no matter where you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The big time money deal, especially for a short, even if she's there for a short career, like about 2 years, the money is great. Plus, she everybody wants to get that WrestleMania moment. Jade wants to get that. She's no fool. She wants to get into that, and she is right now going to take as much advantage of this as possible. So again, I'm very happy she's getting this opportunity. It's nice to see WWE willing to pick up talent from AEW. And my question is, will they treat her well like she was in AEW? Who's going to be her main first feud? So that's all going to be one of the big questions. I would like to see her in her first time going in there. I want to see her as the heel that she is, and maybe come up against, I don't know, start off with Raquel Rodriguez or somebody in that lower tier just to get the feel. But I really want to see her go up against the elites, Becky Lynch, obviously Charlotte. Those are the ones I really want to see her go into. And then the biggest one of all, Rhea Ripley. Now, I don't think she's at that Rhea Ripley Charlotte level, but if she starts in NXT, maybe push her up to get to that Becky Lynch level. And Becky likes helping the young talent, so that might be a big point.
You know what? I have to agree with you there. NXT definitely would be the spot to put her. If she goes into the main roster, and I do not see her going right for the championship. If she does, just like Cody Rhodes, she's going to fumble real fast. She's going to hit so I think, honestly, for her, she should come in and just slowly build up. Maybe get to the Women's Rumble, and then from there, pick her spot if she is in the main roster. But I would still say, I think, honestly, I'd like to see her in a year or two down in NXT, but for some reason, I have this weird feeling that WWE is going to bring her on the main roster. Lance, final thoughts?
Because we said it, she's only had 50 some odd matches. That's still green. I'm sorry, 50 matches in this day and age is still fucking green.
Yeah.
She and I don't mean in the attire she's done for, but maybe spending a year, maybe year and a half in NXT, get some more polish on her, what could do her some good, and then go up, make her ascension into the elites of the WWE. Just keep her the fuck away from Nia Jax.
Well, let me say something. Let me toss this in there, Rick, real fast too. If you look at kind of the scenario that they have, they want that dominant wrestler in there. I think everybody, in a sense, if you look at the whole WWE right now, they don't have that dominant woman. Everybody, we even said it multiple times. We're tired of watching Sasha Banks. We're tired of watching Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. Let's face it, they don't have that one persona that can stand out. We've seen everybody else, and everybody else has kind of let us down. Liv Morgan has let us down. Mandy Moore is gone. Raquel Rodriguez, you look at what's her name, the crazy chick, Nikki Cross. She's in limbo. Nobody really has that oomph that we want to see. I guarantee you, once she steps between that curtain and she makes her way to the ring, everybody's going to say, "Oh shit, it's Jade Cargill," even though they know she signed a deal. That's going to be the impact of the night, and that's where WWE is going to look to see. They're going to get a feel. They're going to say, okay, can this chick really, can she really get everybody's attention.
Yeah, and
Because we're so used to seeing WWE people jump to the other rival promotion. It's very rare, except for AJ Styles, and Cody kind of is floundering right now.
Yeah.
But to see now someone from a rival company that we haven't seen in a long time, this is like WCW, you know, we have yet to see that one person make that nice transition over and really scored big. And I'm hoping Jade Cargill's that one person.
Well, and another thing, and even Terry pointed it out, that Jade could be in for a reality check when they're gonna be putting her on the road. She's gonna be on Monday or whichever show she's on every week. When she was in AEW, she had a very comfortable schedule. So now that's gonna be a serious problem for her. We got to see. Well, I wouldn't say a problem. Like I said, it's gonna be a test for her to see, was she just a fame because she could wrestle here or there, or was this a one-night thing? So, I mean, I really do hope the best for Jade because she is a great competitor, and I really do want to see her succeed. Let's switch gears, guys. Last Wednesday, on Dynamite's Grand Slam, the match between Rey Fenix and Jon Moxley did not exactly go as planned. Moxley got hit with a Rikishi driver, and then the ref didn't go for the count. So what did Rey do? Rey picks Moxley up and hits him with a second Rikishi driver. Of course, that's the time that the ref decided to count. So earlier reports said that Moxley got a concussion, but later reports said that he is in the clear and he did not get a concussion. He was just knocked out. Now, again, Joe, you and I, this is a couple of things we were talking before the show, and I don't understand what was going through Rey's mind to pick him up and hit him for a second spot, a move that put him out in the first time. Why not just roll him up?
Because they're not trained this way. They don't have that mentality. They see, and I'm not putting down everybody in the indie world because there's a lot of good workers. But when you got people like that really haven't made an impact anywhere, and they come in and they're still indie wrestling mindset, they don't understand that, hey, yeah, oh shit, I think he's hurt. What the hell do I do now? Well, let's fucking give him let's give him a clothesline from hell just to coup de grace him. They're not trained, or they have no idea what to do when a situation comes forth. And it's happened to the greats. Like you look at, I remember one of the biggest things I think I've seen was in a match in Mexico, I believe, guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Rey Mysterio was in a match and a wrestler got hurt and snapped his neck. I forgot who the person was.
Hera Aguayo Jr.
Right. And Rey knew enough to pull the person over. He was going to do his little 369, and he noticed the guy was not moving. So in mid-move, he stopped and then got the referee over. That's intelligence. That is ring awareness, but that's years in the business. These guys today don't have that luxury. They don't understand that mentality of, oh shit, maybe I should deal with, maybe I should hit him again, because they don't understand the ring presence. They don't get that. They're all high spot, high spot, high spot. But when a situation like this happens, they don't know what to do. And if Moxley was the one that says, hey, Rey, how about you hit me again with the same move so it looks strong? You didn't see Owen Hart pick up Stone Cold and give him another power driver.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing, you can also, I think another person should be blamed. It's the ref. The ref clearly saw that he wasn't moving. He went 1, 2, and he went down as if where Moxley was supposed to kick out. I'm guessing the alternative was Moxley was supposed to retain the title, but they had to call it audible. But even the ref just said, all right, you know what, fuck it, finish at 3. And even the commentators, I think Taz says, oh, I think he might have twitched. I'm like, he did not fucking twitch. He did not move a muscle. I mean, Renee Paquette
it's a way for them to, whenever in the
covering.
business. You're right. That's the only way you can get away with this.
All right, Lance, your thoughts on this whole situation?
Honestly, I just think Mox knew he was fucked and he called an audible. He basically said, "Do it again and go home."
He wasn't awake. He was out cold. Okay, Renee Paquette could have came down, sucked on his cock, and he would not have flinched.
That would make for some ratings.
I would have done more than flinch.
Yeah. I know you would have, Joe. But, I mean, that's my point. And even after, after the match, the doctors were all over him. He still didn't move. It took him like a couple of minutes. They went to the commercial before he even got up, if he got up. So, I don't know. I think he walked out on his own, but I don't, but
see, again, stuff like that, nobody is trained to follow up on this. Again, they're all high spot. Even the referee, when he is not capable of realizing, shit, maybe I can, stop the match and look at Moxley, because it has happened, and just call it right there and just give the win to this kid, to Ray. So again, this is why nobody is trained properly in the business. I can't say no more than that. You look at WWE, they're prepared for this because of all the lawsuits.
If you remember a few years back, and Terry 3G said that would have made Zoe jealous if it wasn't her. But
That's true.
Anyways, real quick, if you recall, a few years back when Chris Jericho was in the WWE, he was wrestling Pac, and I forget what his name was at the time. And Pac had got injured himself, and Chris Jericho, tried to pin him, and the ref wouldn't do it. And so Jericho got up and he shoved the ref, and he goes, "Well, look at him, he's hurt." And so he went down, he pinned him, 1, 2, 3. So again, it's not always the wrestlers we want to blame, because the ref probably didn't whisper in his ear, "Hey, something's wrong," but nevertheless, unfortunately, it's a bad situation, and thankfully that Mox will be okay. Let's move along. WWE. Oh my God, they cut so many people. They cut like 100 staff members. Not to mention, they cut over 30 wrestlers. So far, some of the names are Elias, Mustafa Ali, Riddick Moss, Emma, Rick Boogs, all 3 members of Top Dollar, Aliyah, Dolph Ziggler, Dana Brooke, and of course Matt Riddle has been released. According to reports, the releases were not done under Triple H leadership. Instead, it was done by Vince McMahon and with TKO's supervision. So, now, before I get on to that, I got to talk about a couple of people. First off, Dolph Ziggler, he's been with that company for years. He's been loyal to the company even though they've never given him a push. I'd like to see him hopefully jump over to AEW. Now, Matt Riddle, that motherfucker has had that thing. He's had this coming. Lance, I know that you've seen that coming more than once.
Hell yeah, especially because, that had to be on the Endeavor cut this motherfucker list, because this goes even way back to when Matt Riddle was in the UFC. He knew as soon as the day after Mania, he knew his time with this company, borrowed time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you get drunk as hell and claim somebody assaults you in an airport. Yeah, bro, you're done.
All right, Joe, your thoughts on all these releases, especially with TKO's supervision?
You know what? I'm sure before the merger officially happened, I'm sure they all looked at this and they said, all right, we're going to do this merger, but we're going to get rid of some of these dead weight. Let's face it, Emma was not somebody that people really gave shits about. You looked at, Rick Boggs, which he was a decent guy, but, Elias, I think it wasn't Elias's fault. I think they just didn't know what the hell to do with him, and he finally admitted that he was the other character. So,
gee, he was? I didn't know that.
Brother.
Oh.
Yeah, he officially posted up, says, yes, I was Ezekiel. So again, you could see where this was going, where they said, the poor man hasn't really had a good chance to prove himself. Every time he gained momentum, every time he was doing the walk with Elias and singing in places that the fans were getting behind him, WWE shoved him down. So, he deserves a shot. And again, guys, we also got to realize too, these are cuts, but some of these people can be called back if required because they need jobbers, obviously. So my take on this, I hope AEW looks at all these people and not take, Broski. I don't want to see that fucking idiot. I don't want to see that idiot nowhere near. I'm hoping people with common sense in that locker room says, just like CM Punk, we don't want him here. He could go to Impact. He can go to NWA Power. Be with Billy Corgan.
He can even go to the Indies and still make money.
Oh yeah, right now he can go to the Indies and make tons of fucking money. He can go to autograph signings and conventions and make tons of stupid money without killing himself.
Well, he can even go into porn with his wife.
Yeah.
I mean,
he can spank her with slippers.
He can smoke all the weed he wants without getting into trouble. But I don't want to see him in AEW, and I would hope that Tony Khan learned from the experience with CM Punk and said, you know what, I don't want to deal with this trouble again. He's trouble. I don't need trouble in this, production. Lance, let's say if you could pick one or two people that you would like to see to come over to AEW, which ones would they be?
Ziggler.
Yep.
And Elias.
You know what? And those are my two picks because they are both great wrestlers that unfortunately never really got a fair shake in the WWE for one reason or another.
Yeah.
So I really hope that if they don't get called back, that these two definitely move on because they are incredible wrestlers.
And if I may, for a backstage position, Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, again, but I'm not sure how AEW's backstage is working. They might be full capacity, but they may have another room for more. Who knows? Let's move along. Last week there were rumors regarding Mandy Rose returning to wrestling. Rose spoke with TMZ to clear things up. In short, Rose said that she does miss the life, and if the right call comes in, she'll consider it. But right now, she has plenty of things to keep her busy. I guess she has a family deli that she's been working out with for 30 years that she's doing that. Of course, she still has her fans-only page or whatever page she does. And she's
fans,
yeah. And she's also doing a podcast with her husband. So right now, Rose is making money, and she's not really, hurting at the moment, Joe.
God, and with that picture, with that type of body, fuck, man, she could do OnlyFans and just strip down for people, and she make tons of money from that. I gotta say, it's like, god damn, that's an incredible looking bod that she has there. She doesn't need it, and anytime you can get out of the business, I said this many times, anytime you can look at an outside venture and do something different out of wrestling, you want to come back, maybe do something, hell, even with AEW on a limited basis or Impact on a limited basis. She doesn't need to continue damaging herself in wrestling. She's right now got the right assets, so she can literally do something better in her life instead of wrestling. If wrestling bug is hard to get rid of, even I know. But at this point, it's not the same as yesterday or the glory days or the attitude era days. Now people are going to be a little bit smarter. Let's invest on business. So hopefully she doesn't have to worry about it. Come back, do one or two matches, agree on a short term, but stick to doing something else. Don't be like Ric Flair.
And you know what? Yeah, again, as you get up in the age with any wrestler, things start to break down. And Terry 3G, he pointed out that Mustafa Ali would also be a very good idea.
Yeah.
possibility. And then he said, the bottom of her wowzowza can read. I'm guessing you're referring to her bottoms. Yeah, she's got a nice little outfit to go in there. Unfortunately, I'd have no problem losing it, but unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to post it here for the podcast. Lance,
Yeah.
what's your final
I
thoughts?
wouldn't mind being a gardener and work on her bush.
Don't mind trimming the hedges. Lance, your thoughts on Mandy Rose and what her future is?
She basically put it, she will be back, just not right now. She's going to wait for the right size check.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? Again, that's you can't blame her.
Hell no.
So,
It's a business.
that's right. Let's move along. Well, it looks like SmackDown will be finally moving to USA. Apparently, I'm sorry, they'll be leaving Fox and returning to the USA Network. Also, they will be on Fridays. That's they're gonna stay on Fridays. But on the same breath, Monday Night Raw and NXT, the rumors could be leaving the USA Network. I'm not sure if I actually believe that. That was again in the rumors, so please don't hold me to that. But Lance, what's your thoughts about SmackDown coming to USA, and then both Raw and NXT leaving?
Well, the SmackDown coming to Fox or USA right now, I'll be glad when the hell they do, because my local Fox station and my cable company don't have an agreement right now, so I can't watch SmackDown even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But, and hell, it'd probably be a bigger audience by just a little bit. But them losing Raw and NXT, and that is if they do, because between now and then, there's a long damn time for negotiations. That'll definitely be a damn loss for USA.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, what's your thoughts about WWE taking two of their shows off of USA and then bringing one onto TV?
Well, they're switching the dates because if you noticed, you know, some of the events for these shows, they were not making drawing. Yeah, I think sometimes there was even talk about direct competition to be with on a Wednesday night with AEW, which is a bad move. You know, it's gonna really ruin one company over the other.
SmackDown, I think, is gonna stay on Fridays.
Right, they'll stay on Fridays, but I think Raw, they were kind of Raw hasn't been drawing the numbers, and I don't think it's the time slot. I think it's just the talent that they employ. Overall, I think what they're doing is they're pulling out the shows just to see who's willing to who's willing to bid higher to get those shows on their network. So this is nothing but a power play just to see who can give them more money. Hey guys, we got this great, show here. Who wants it? Now we're going to open up the bidding wars. So if USA says, look, we'll give you more money, stay here, then obviously they're going to stay there. Fox wants to give it to them, because Rupert Murdoch took over, then fuck, then that's another thing. It's a big, mostly I look at this as just money. They want to make sure that the promotion is going to make enough money, because it's now TKO. So TKO is the one that's going to look at this as like, okay, we need to make as much money off of this shows than their UFC, because UFC comes once a month, if that.
Honestly, it depends. Sometimes, some months they have like 4 shows a month. It's like the main one and 3 fight nights.
Okay, so but wrestling is their steady bread and butter. So that's why they're looking at it like they want to make sure, okay, we're going to pull this off. We want to see who gives us more money for what network, and which is a smart idea. They want to, all that money that they're going to make from WWE is going to help fund other things. So, Rick, we'll have to see how well this bidding stuff goes. I think they just threw USA a bone here by saying, okay, you got SmackDown. You want the other ones? Bid on it.
All right. But like I said, for me, something doesn't really make sense. I mean, I understand that that WWE is hashing out shitloads of money to stay on Fox, and they had a couple even thought about playing it like last year or something like that. There were rumors, but I see no reason for all three shows to stay on USA. There's not a reason at all. I can't think of one, Lance.
Well, it'd be easier for the WWE fans to find the damn shit.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move along. Hulk Hogan got married for the third time earlier this year.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. Brooke Hogan was not at her father's wedding. At her wedding, Brooke stated that she is putting some distance between her family and for her own healing and mental stability. Now, I looked at Hogan's wife, and she is like 40, 45, and again, hot blonde, big tits. I mean, I can understand why Brooke might be still a little creeped out, Lance.
Yeah, because, well, Brooke, hot blonde, big tits.
Yeah, and she's only 35.
Yeah, and also, you know what that actually means, what Brooke just said? She can't fucking stand Hulk Hogan's new wife.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what she said.
Yeah, this is a quick topic. Joe, your thoughts on this one?
Well, fuck, I put it like this. I could care less what Brooke Hogan cares because she's been a nobody for some time. I don't know what the fuck she does.
She's not doing anything right now.
Exactly.
Actually, she owns a business where she works in interior decorating.
Oh, interior decorating. Okay, yeah. So she's really not doing anything.
Red and yellow.
Yeah. No shit.
But you know what? I could care less what Brooke Hogan says, as long as the man himself is happy. If the new wife is happy, she's attached to one of the biggest icons in professional wrestling, in the sports world and in the entertainment world. As long as those two are happy. If Brooke is not happy, well, boo-hoo. You know what? What have you done fucking in your life that without daddy's help? I guarantee you her business goes down. Oh, I'm got to go to daddy. Daddy needs to give me some money.
Oh, absolutely. She'll have no problem running to him for a check. And you know what? He'll cut a check because, you know what? That's his little girl, and of course he's got to take care of her.
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you look at the wife, the new wife, he's like, well, fuck, damn. Good for you, Hulkster. Does she have a sister?
Yeah. All right. Well, WrestleDream is next month, and right now, so far,
it's Sunday.
Oh my God, this Sunday. Don't mind me, guys. Still, let's see. And unfortunately, it's starting to look more like a wrestling nightmare. According to reports, WrestleDream has only sold just 5,000 tickets for this venue. It should be noted the max capacity for the arena is only 7,500 seats. Now, while they may have a full show, this is still could be the lowest fan attendance since the pandemic. Joe, what is Tony Khan thinking by having such a pay-per-view on such a small event?
You know what? I don't. This is Tony Khan has to approve it, absolutely. But this has to be someone in the back that says, "Look, Seattle, Washington, this is a good spot. Let's open up the market here." Nobody's really gone into Seattle, Washington because of the small arena. It's for the way I look at it is maybe it's just an opportunity just to see if they could do well on the West Coast. And if this is an opportunity for them to say, hey, let's open up some markets over here. Bottom line, I think this is all this is, just to see how well they can open up the market. And, Tony Khan could say, hey, you know what? I can afford to lose a couple thousand or a million on a show.
So, all right, let me interject real quick. You're talking about a show. Why not do something like Rampage or maybe even a Dynamite? Where, okay, fine, you get enough. A pay-per-view, especially debut pay-per-view, you want people to flood the gates in. You know, you
Oh
want
yeah.
15 to 20,000. So I don't really understand the logic.
Here's the logic behind that. That's easy to just go in and just do a regular show and hope that turns numbers. But when you do a big event in that territory and you kind of fill it in, you take a risk and you fill it up. Now you know if the crowd all shows up and that 7,800 seat arena is filled. Now you can know you can come back and do Rampage or Dynamite or Collision because it's now you know the market is there for it. Right now, just to do a show, you pretty much you're gonna have to put your A game all in this basket. So anytime you venture into a new territory, you got to put your top people on it to see if anybody will bite. It's like basically it's like when you go fishing, you want to put your best bait out there to see what you can pull in. In this case, they want to do a pay-per-view. It's they want to get their best people on this. So if they follow up a show later on with a Rampage or Dynamite or Collision, like I said, at least they'll know that they'll have a crowd showing up. So that is why I look at it like this is what their mindset is right now. They're just trying to figure out, okay, we're going to open up. Let's see what we can do with this.
All right. I mean, like I said, I still think it's kind of a weird to do for a debut pay-per-view. But Lance, over to you. Your thoughts?
Well, first, this is far from the first time AEW has been in the Washington area. I mean, they've done quite a number of times, and they said, "Oh, we're in Bryan Danielson's hometown of Aberdeen, Washington." So, my theory on why they did this here is okay. With this WrestleDream, you have a lot of New Japan talent coming in for this. So, and also the Inoki family are coming in. So I'm just guessing maybe it's to help make it easy for them to get into town.
Actually, you know what? And that is another good point. So, all right. Well, while we're talking about WrestleDream, I think we should get on to our picks and predictions. There's actually 9 matches for this motherfucker. Yeah, so I'm going to run these down in no particular order. Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre Jr. This is supposed to be an incredible match because both are high technical wrestlers and hard hitting wrestlers. Of course, me as a fan, I don't want to see Bryan Danielson win, but I'm not entirely sure. Joe, over to you.
That is going to be a good match, but I think again, while this is a new territory, they want to give them something. Maybe they'll push Bryan on this. So I'm just going to throw this against the wind because I think the other talent should have gotten that nod for this, but I'm gonna have to say Daniel Bryan just to get the big name over.
All right, fair enough. Lance, your pick.
This needs to be the main event.
Yes.
And I'm going with Danielson.
All right, and again, that's a lot of fans seem to be going that way. The next match is Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. We've seen these two go at it several times. I really hope this is the end of their story because it's really getting boring. Strickland seems to have Page's number one way or another. I honestly want to see Hangman Page win this one. But with all of Strickland's mogul affiliates or kingdom or whatever the fuck he's calling it now, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out a cheap win. Lance, over to you.
I want to see some cowboy shit.
Absolutely. Joe, what's your pick?
Given that Swerve has been swerved many times and beaten down, he needs this one win to keep him going. Adam Page doesn't lose out from a loss here. So I think, he needs to get this win. So I'm giving it to Swerve.
All right. Excuse me, guys. Up next, FTR will be defending their AEW Tag Team Championship against Aussie Open. Again, another phenomenal match. Um, my only thing is, I'm not sure if Aussie Open is officially with AEW. I know that they come in and make deals. But you know what? To be honest with you, I think Odyssey Open, I'd like to see them get the win. Lance, over to you.
Well, I know FTR are getting toward the end of their title run. I don't know if I see them handing the belts over to Aussie Open, though.
Really? All right. Joe, over to you.
You know what? I'm a diehard FTR guy. I gotta say they're gonna keep this because I don't see them drop into a team that's not full time in AEW. So I'm gonna say those guys are gonna just keep it, and they'll drop it to somebody else later down the road. So yeah, I don't see this happening anytime soon.
All right. Well, let me pick your brain real quick, Joe. Who could you see them FTR dropping the titles to?
You know, again, this is a tough thing because there isn't really that standout team right now. You know, I don't want to see the Bucks. I don't want to see the Guns. I want to see somebody different. I want to see somebody come, that has been in AEW, but God, it's just so hard right now.
How about Best Friends? They never won the title.
No, God, no.
Well, I'm throwing shit out, and you're kind of like, okay, how about Orange Cassidy and Hook?
Here's the thing. If it's going to be somebody like that they're going to put together, first of all, the reject from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out does not need to be in that equation.
Hang on. Boss, let me make Joe's head explode. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
Oh God, no! I see. Now you're just pushing my buttons. I would say
they have tagged in the past on the Indies, so it could happen.
You know what? And it could happen, and I want to see them break Danhausen's neck.
Well, Danhausen's pretty much still out with an injury.
Good,
so.
And I hope he stays out. The fucking face painted piece of shit.
Great email.
All right.
But you know what? Rick, one thing. Let me just say this. Why not give it to somebody in Dark Order? They've been there for so long. Reynolds and the bald-headed kid, I forget his name.
John Silver?
John Silver. Get those two. Give them an opportunity. Maybe have Evil Uno, trick, do a cheat in the corner or something. Those guys should get it. Butcher and Blade should get that.
Yeah.
Those are the teams that nobody gives a chance to, and I think that itself, it's a horrible thing. Instead of giving Aussie Open, or the Gun Club or the Elite, let's give it to these guys. They deserve it. They give them a shot, and let them have a shock win. That's what we need, a shock win. I don't want to see the shock win from these, idiots. I don't care about Aussie Open. Let them go play with a fucking koala if all I care about.
Well, you know what? They're a phenomenal tag team. I would say, honestly, they almost remind me of...
But they're not full-time in AEW. So that's, like I said, I think we need to have that one team. So I would say these guys are going to keep it. And I hope that smart people will realize that too.
All right. Moving on, we have Adam Cole and MJF will be taking on the Righteous for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Now, there's a rumor that Adam Cole, the match could be pulled because Adam Cole, I guess he screwed up his ankle last week. So it's not entirely sure, but we're going to assume this match is going on. Honestly, MJF and Cole, they're a great tag team. They're entertaining. They're fun, but I think the Righteous would want to bring it back to Ring of Honor. It would only make any sense. That's the only win that makes sense to me, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, right now, they need Adam Cole and MJF need a loss. They need this loss so they can get to that start breaking up point. So I want to see, and he's the world champion, shouldn't be in tag team matches, but let's see what happens after this. But I definitely they don't need this. He doesn't need this match.
All right, Lance, your pick.
The Righteous.
All right. So on to the next match. This is going to be a 6-man tag match. It's going to be Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi will be taking on the Don Callis family, which is Kenosa Takashita, Samir Guevara, and Will Ospreay. This honestly looks like it's going to be a really great match. But if I have to take a pick, if I'm going to go on the dark side of the force, so to speak, I'm going to pick up the Don Callis family for this one. Lance, over to you.
As much as I want Murder Grandpa to get a victory here, I see the Don Callis family getting this.
All right. Joe, your pick.
I got to say the Don Callis family.
All right. Now, Christian Cage recently won the TNT Championship on, I think it was on Rampage, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Collision? Yes. Either way, he is now the tag team. He's now the TNT champion. But now he has to take on Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that it goes to Darby Allin, but I get this weird feeling that they want to keep it on Christian Cage. Joe, your picks.
They're going to keep it on Christian Cage. If he just won the title, they're not going to let him just lose it off the bat. They want to keep that. They want to keep him build that heat up. They want to build that up, then do something with it later on. I just don't see him automatically just losing it.
All right. Well, to be fair, for the past couple of months, even though it was Luchasaurus' title, Cage made it very clear that it was his TNT championship. He was the one that was carrying and walking it around. So, I mean, he definitely built a lot of heat for that, and I think whoever beats him would certainly get over. And I think if I'm going to pick, I'm really praying that Darby Allin's going to get that win. Lance, your pick.
I think Luchasaurus is going to fuck Christian out of this, and we're going to have a new TNT champion.
Again, that's another good point because Christian had no problem pinning Luchasaurus to get the title.
Because you saw Luchasaurus gave Christian a look like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, pretty much. He was not happy. So, all right, on to the next one. It's going to be Eddie Kingston versus Katsuri Shibata. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. Yeah, for the Ring of Honor and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Kingston has already said that he's not going to be working in the Indies because right now defending 2 championships is taking way too much time on him. So, if you ask me, I mean, I don't think he's going to lose both titles just yet. I could be wrong. So for me, this is just a coin tosser. To be frank, I don't care who wins either way, Joe.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same position too. It's like, meh. I'm kind of like, I could care less. I'm not a big Eddie Kingston fan. I'm not really, I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see the big appeal with him, but he's not going to lose it right now. So honestly, this is just going to be a sleeper match. To be honest, I could care less either way. So we'll leave it like that.
All right. Lance, your pick.
I don't know how much of a sleeper this is going to be because these 2 guys are going to beat the shit out of each other.
Well, I think that's going to be that. It's not going to be a wrestling match. This is going to be a brawl.
Yeah.
And
I got to give it to Eddie.
All right. Fair enough. Moving on.
That's the piss break match of the night.
Chris Statlander will be defending her TBS Championship match against Julia Hart, who's been on a massive winning streak over the past couple of weeks. So, now, again, I'm a huge fan of Statlander, but I'm quickly becoming a fan of Hart. So, now do we want to, have Statlander continue this winning streak? Or do we want Julia Hart to win? And part of me, again, I'm kind of at a coin toss with this particular match. I think I'd be happy with either woman getting the win, Lance.
Yeah, because you got more than a woman, not in a Rose way, of Chris Statlander, and you get the crazy gothic hot chick of Julia Hart, and I don't know. I don't fucking know.
All right, Joe, over to you.
You know what? I want to see Julia Hart win. You got to remember, too, she's with the House of Black. So that could be a big factor as well. Let's face it, the entire Statlander run, first couple of times, yes, it's great. It's fun to see her come back, win, get that. But overall, there's no oomph to it. She's just there. So they need something different. Maybe this thing, and having the House of Black kind of say, we control another title, that could be a big thing for them as well. And it'll give Julia Hart a big boost in her career. It's fun to see somebody else get the belt. And Statlander, she's a better chaser than being the chasee, or better being the one who's chasing for the belt than having the belt. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, and again, I understand what you were saying. And I think it would be fair to give Julia the win. So, and like I said, the dark part of me is definitely rooting for Julia Hart, as much as I'm a fan of Statlander. And now we're on to the last match. I'm not sure if it's going to be the main event, but it's going to be a four-way tag match between the Young Bucks, the Guns, the Lucha Brothers, and Orange Cassidy and Hook, where the winning team will get a future shot for the AEW Tag Team Champions. We talked about this earlier, Joe, about who we should get to win. If you have to pick somebody out, I'd probably have to go with Cassidy and Hook.
Again, do we want to see Shades and Little Mac team win and getting that opportunity? No. Who was the other team members in the? Let's exclude the Elite. We don't need them.
Okay, so fine. You have the Guns, the Gun Club.
Okay. Okay.
And Lucha Bros.
God, I don't want to see the Lucha Bros either, especially now that Ray has a championship.
Well, keep in mind, this is only for a shot at a championship.
No, I know it is for a shot, but you want to make it appeasing, and I just God, this is a horrible match. Again, I wish they would take out Hook and Cassidy. I kind of picked up on Cassidy. I kind of like him. That should have been Butcher and Blade in that spot. Eliminate the, they could have put somebody else in there. This is a difficult decision because I don't want to see the Young Bucks. I don't want to see them get this win because, again, they've been to the well so many times it's dry. The Gun Club, could they? Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to lean to the Gun Club because I don't want to see Little Mac and fucking Shades get this opportunity. What has fucking Little Mac done besides have a stupid hairstyle and wearing fucking shorts? He's a fucking cruiserweight in the fucking UFC. He should go there and stay there.
Well, actually, I'm gonna go over to Terry 3G, and he seems to agree that Luchasaurus is gonna turn on Christian, and of course, he also thinks that Statlander will retain the title at the last minute because he feels that Julia Hart is still early to put a title on her. Fair point. But again, Lance, we talk about Orange Cassidy and Hook, who just started as a tag team. And I think, honestly, for them to get any kind of a push or any kind of, move along, they need to win this match.
And this is for a shot at the
Tag titles.
AEW tag titles?
In the future, yes.
Okay. Honestly, of all the three, the thing I'd love watching FTR go against the most, I think I'd like to see the FTR versus the Lucha Brothers. I think it'd be the best match to watch.
Okay, I think we've seen them a couple of times, but all right. But again,
they tore the fucking house down every time. So.
Yeah. Well, we also have to consider if they are going to remain the title, so retain the title. So,
yeah.
If Aussie Open winds up winning, whoever wins this, they might not, get that champion. They might, want to keep the titles on Aussie Open. But again, we're all just pitching. We really don't know what's going to happen until, the end of the night.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I want to thank Terry 3G for coming in and hanging out with us. If this is the first time if you're listening to HWR, please, why don't you check us out on our Facebook, Wrestling Rants, in the group section, and also like and subscribe to support Hardcore Wrestling Rants. Joe, you're over at Skull and Realm. What's going on?
Well, I play games from yesterday to today, from PC to console. I do a lot of retro games. I did Star Fox a little bit ago, and my God, I didn't know how that was going to be. And I also did Saturday Night Slam Masters. If you don't, folks, remember that?
I remember that.
That was a great wrestling game made by Capcom, the originators of Street Fighter series. So I'm going to be going once again, delving into that realm of retro games, and I'm going to be looking at a couple others. I did Rolling Thunder, so I have to look at which one I'm going to go through, but folks, definitely check me out. Just do the hashtag Skuldrin's Realm. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
All right. And Lance, you're over at Lance Moss TV. What do you got going on over?
Right now, it's just Lance Moss TV and Friends coffee time every Tuesday night at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern. We shoot this shit for roughly an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. But we're just us being crazy, shooting shit. We never know who's going to show up.
All right, and there you have it. So for the Hardcore crew, I am your hardcore host, Rickhead, saying, we'll see you when we see you.
Buy this shirt!